what I'm going to do quickly right now is debunk the myth that fabric mesh cannot be impulse sealed. That is not true. It can be. Tonight we're going to be making a flower, and I'm going to be using all fabric mesh. And this flower, sorry guys, I have my heating pad on tonight. This flower is inspired from Rita Pruse, who, if you're a true creeker, you know who Rita Pruse from Irish Made Wreaths. She is our superstar. Hi.
Hi.
You're down here.
David A.
David A's here.
David A's in the house.
Everybody, David A is in the house.
I just brought your.
Oh, thanks, baby.
Just you need them.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What was I forget what I was saying.
Rita Pruse.
Oh, Rita Pruse. She is my girl. No, I love her. Anyways, she's shy. I don't know what she's got to be shy for. She's absolutely stunning. She's got this fabulous Scottish accent, but she don't like to do lives. So she asked if I would do a wreath that she's been getting a lot of people asking about. So I'm going to show you how she does it, but I'm not doing mine the same. I'm doing mine just a little bit different. My chair? Oh, it's just my heating pad. I'm good. Oh, please, you don't miss Dave. Oh, the heat feels so good. Anybody have a really good heating pad? I find this heating pad doesn't heat up very hot. Okay, so this is my cheapy impulse sealer made by Vivid. Very lightweight. I love this thing. And it's pretty much the cheapest one you can get on Amazon, and I find it's the best. Okay. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Thank you. We don't want that happening. Oh. Anyways. I need a really... See, I don't have a lot of feeling because of the nerves and everything when I had surgery. So, even if the heating pad is super hot, I still can't feel it very well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to the board. So I have this impulse sealer. This is fabric mesh I'm going to be using tonight. Okay, fabric mesh is just like it's called. It's pretty much got like a jute kind of fabric running through it. It's also got plastic in it as well, which the plastic is what you want to seal, so it will prevent the fraying. And I have a lot of people saying, oh, well, you can't heat seal fabric mesh. But yes, you can. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to put my mask on because I'm only going to do 2. So what I do is I line up on my thing. Now, you probably may want to put a like a board or a glass something underneath. Some of the impulse sealers get really, really hot, and it'll burn your cutting mat. So if you put like a glass cutting mat or a piece of wood underneath it, that should fix it. This one doesn't get it as hot and it doesn't bubble. I don't know why. But anyways, I'm lining it up on the 15 and I'm going to pull it out to the 25. Okay? So you get your mesh. Now, my sealer's probably not heated up because usually once it gets heated up, I only have to do 2 pulses and it cuts. So I'm pulling it all the way out to 25. So that gives me 10 inches of mesh. Now you definitely need to be wearing a mask, a respirator, if you're doing this in the inside, or do it outside preferably. Now you're going to press down and you'll see a red light and you'll hear a click, lift up again and press down again. And now this is probably not really warmed up. And there we go. If you pull while it's still heated, it will cut it and seal it. I'll do one more. Again, calming heat. I'll have to look at, this is like the 4th one I've ordered from Amazon. I keep ordering different ones because there's not one I found that I like. Okay, so I'm pulling it out to 25 again. There we go. So if you pull it on the second, you probably have to get it warmed up. So the first couple you may have to press down like 3 times. Okay. This is fabric mesh, which is almost the same as poly jute. And it stinks, but that's why I said wear your respirator. Okay, one more. Okay, I pulled it out to 25, go down, it clicks, go up, go down again, and there we go. Sometimes you may, especially when it first gets warmed up, you may have to go with your scissors and cut some of the fabric, but I don't know if you can use a food saver. I've never used one, so this is on Amazon. I have all the impulse sealers. I have the really expensive ones, I have the medium ones, and this is the cheap one. I love this one. It's not heavy, it's very compact, and it gets hot. Like, it cuts it really well. And you want to make sure when you're done, you clean off all the little plastic cling-ons here. Okay, so you can seal fabric mesh. Okay, so like I said, I'm using fabric mesh tonight. Oh, I may get this under my table. Okay, so the pieces are 10 by 10. 16 inches good too. So all my fabric mesh I'm using for this is 10 by 10. 10 by 10. Please somebody pin that 10 by 10 so I don't have to ask the same question. So rows 2, 3, 2, and 3 are getting 10-inch fabric mesh. Okay. Row 2 is getting the striped fabric mesh. Now I have my mesh pieces being flattened. He just came down. He went back upstairs. So I put my mesh pieces underneath my Mod Podge thing just to flatten them a little bit. So I've already heat sealed all these. I'm going to be using just a plain natural fabric mesh. Yes, you can do this on poly Deco mesh, and you also can use it on poly burlap. So you can see I flattened it for a little bit. I put my Pro Bow on top of it, and then I put my thing of Mod Podge. And when you're making the flowers, it's a little easier when they're flatter instead of like this. So if you want to flatten them out. So I'm using this one, I'm using this one, and then row 4 is getting a 21-inch mesh. I am doing a beach inspired. It's made by Vivid, V-I-V-I-D. Yeah, that's a good idea too, Pauline. Now, I cut 8 pieces of this gorgeous fabric mesh. Now, 21-inch fabric mesh is a bit pricey. However, if you use it wisely, you can make probably 3 of these flowers out of, because we're only going to be using 8 pieces. Okay, so these 8 pieces are 21 by 21. And all I did to cut these, you do not need to heat seal this because the fold that we are doing, you won't see the edges. So you don't need to heat seal it. So all I did was pull out my roll to 21 inches and then just cut straight down the one. Okay, so I have 8 pieces of 21-inch mesh in this coral. Thank you, Tina Kelly. So you need 8. You can use Deco mesh. You can use poly burlap. You can use whatever you want. Same with the whole flower. You can use whatever you have on hand. Right now, fabric mesh is the hot trend because it's pretty much in stock everywhere. So I wanted to show you, because I know a lot of you, I got a whole huge load of fabric mesh in for my Canadian customers, which tomorrow has been 2 weeks. So what I like to do when I get mesh in, I like to put it on our Canadian website for our Canadian customers because we can't get it. And then after 2 weeks, like I gave them 2 weeks to get what they need, and then I'll go put it on the American site. A lot of this mesh that I have, you can get at Waterman's Loft and Deco Exchange and Trendy Tree and the Wreath Shop and stuff like that, okay? So, they're not sticking. Kim, message me after, message me so we can talk about that. Because we've had a few like that, so just message me, hon, and we'll get it all fixed up. Okay, so I'm doing kind of a beach inspired. Because I had this coral mesh, and I just had to do it. So, 21 by 21. Now, when Rita did her flower, she used the Star Trek petal. Okay? I'm going to show you how to do that said Star Trek petal with the 21-inch mesh. Okay, but with my flower, and I'm not one to really I'm not one to copy people. I like to come up with my own things. And it was only because Rita asked me to do it that I said yes. So I'm going to show you how Rita did it. And if you got our email newsletter, I'm talking to you guys and you can see. If you got our email newsletter, you will see that the flower that Rita was wanting me to recreate. Absolutely stunning. Of course, anything Rita does stunning. I have, however, when I do my flower, because it's beach inspired, I'm doing my large petal like this. Because it looks, we call this the Starfish petal. And since this is beach inspired, I'm doing this. Okay? And the center, I will be showing you guys how to do burlap center. And I'm going to use this ivory burlap that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Now, when you order your stuff online, so like Ranch House Wreaths, Ranch House Crafts, Ranch House Wreaths, whatever, Craft Outlet or whatever, a lot of them sell 6-inch burlap. I don't know if you knew that, but if you're ever looking for burlap and you're placing a mesh order and you want to make a burlap center, they're actually my favorite to do because they're very, very easy. While you're placing that mesh order, just do a search in that store for burlap because there's lots of colors out there of 6-inch burlap. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. Where's my thing? This one is from Hobby Lobby. And it just looks like that. It says burlap garland. So you get it in 10 yards. It comes in all kinds of colors. But I noticed when I was on some of the other online sites that they carried burlap as well. So have a check. Especially if somebody's having a sale. Okay, so should I do the big petal first or wait? You know what? I'm going to get this wreath going because it's very, very simple to do rows 2 and 3 because this big petal is going to go on row 4. Okay, so 10 by 10. What size are the petals? 10 by, I should write it down. Hold on. Hi, everybody. Oh, gosh. Does anybody else deal with back pain? Because you then probably know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the 10-inch is 10 by 10. Okay? This is just more for those that are just coming in. The 21 inch is 21 by 21. And then the burlap will be 6, because that's how big it is, by 20 inches. And we're going to need 8 of those. Okay? The 21 inch, we're going to need 8. And the mesh I'm using, you're going to need 16. Okay? Oh, Kathy, it's debilitating, isn't it? So, screenshot this if you guys want to screenshot it. Okay? I'm going to put it right here. You can see it. Okay? That says 2. I don't know what says 2. I put 2. 2 what? 21.
Did you say 6?
Can you guys not read Canadian?
Did you say 6 by 20 or 6 by 2?
Oh, 20. Oh, okay. See, you can't read Canadian, can you?
No, I can't read Lori.
All right. New screenshot. All right. The burlap. We'll go through the burlap anyways. Okay. So my outside row 2, I'm going to be using this striped, really cool mesh. I just got this in too. Well, I got black and white as well. Whatever's left, I'll throw it onto the American website. 10 by 10. Put the curl down. I'm going to go down a bit more. There we go. Okay. All we're going to do is scrunch from here to here, right? And if you're using Deco mesh, if you're using poly burlap, whatever you're using, it's 10 by 10. And we just scrunch it up the middle. And this is what we call just the simple sunflower petal. So usually we make leaves and all that stuff out of this one too. Okay. And I grab, see where it's curved here? Where it's curved is you're just going to put that into your zip tie. I preloaded, actually Dave preloaded. Row 2, 3, and 4 closed. Closed means they're done up, but you leave as much space for working as you can. Okay? Thank you for floating my boat. I use 18-pound zip ties. 18 pound. So you see the strength says 18 pound. I have 2 different sizes. I have a 6.5 inch and I have an 8 inch. I don't drill holes in my board. So what I do, I always have a few little 8 inch or a few packs of 8 inch, because what I like to do instead of drilling holes, so now what people will sometimes do is just drill a hole right here and then you can fill in the board. We are looking at moving our cooling lines in the mold so that we can put a hole right here. So our tool and die workers are working on that. So eventually it will be there. We have to move the cooling lines, like to cool the plastic in the mold. It has water running, cold water running through it, so it solidifies. So I just gave you a lesson on plastic making there. But until then, I use an 8 inch. You can even use a 6.5 inch. Let me use a 6.5 just in case. 8 inch is my absolute favorite. And the why it's my favorite is because when I have things like, you know, wanting to stretch it from here to here, I'm not struggling. But this is just a 6.5 inch. I don't know if it'll go from here to here. It may just barely. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So I just am going to, when you flip it over, you'll see it almost looks like stitching. For that row, just row 3, I am going to be using shared holes. And we call them shared because there's 2 zip ties in the hole. Now this one's an 8 inch. And you can see I have a little bit more room to work with. Hi, everybody. Hi, Jen Tinson. Love. Oh, Joy, thank you for saying thank you. I absolutely love doing it, and I love hanging out with you guys. But every once in a while, it's nice when somebody does say thank you. Not that anybody does, because I get it all the time on Unique Wreath Makers. Okay, so let me just finish this. Look at all my friends up in the house. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that share button, only because the flower wreaths are so super popular right now. And they're so easy to make. I wish the whole world could know how to make one. So if you just share it to your personal Facebook page, don't be blasting other people's pages or anything. That just helps out a lot too. And you never know, one of your friends may be bored out of their skull right now. And, you know, I tend to make people laugh every so often. So they might have a laugh. All right, so I finished preloading row 3. So when you flip it over, you can see row 3 will be a complete circle of zip ties. Okay? So, again, recap. Row 2, just normal. Row 3, we're doing this. And row 4 is going to be the coral. Now, I did cut. I'm going to get your guys' opinion. Your guys's. Look at this beautiful mint. This mint mesh. I heat sealed it, and I thought I would use it for row 2. But do you guys think it'll look funny if I did mint, then the natural burlap, and then coral, and then ivory for the center? I know it'll be super beachy, but I kind of liked the stripe to bring out the ivory. I sat and stared at it for a good long time, and I just couldn't figure it out. So do you think that yeah, I know this mint color is absolutely fabulous, is it not? I was thinking no mint too, because because the main part of this flower that we're doing tonight is this sucker right here. It gives it a whole different look. Maybe I'll use it. You know what? I have some other stuff that will go with it. I'll make another flower another day, and we'll use this mint. Okay? Oh no! You found it in the flower garden. Well, maybe it was trying to grow with its friends. Yeah, it would be. That's I only have what I have in my closet, so all right, let's get this going. So this part is really, really easy. It's the norm. Go up, scrunch. Like I said, I'm just using this striped, and this is fabric mesh. The whole flower will be fabric mesh. Oh, I don't have mint, honey. I'm sorry. I bought this mint last year. I don't even know where I got it from. But I have not seen any. So I don't even know if they make it anymore. Yes, if you are on our newsletter, if you're not, make sure you go on to Unique in the Creek website, and at the bottom you can sign up for our newsletter. And Tanya sends all kinds of stuff out, especially if I'm doing something new. And that way you get notified by your email as well. Yeah, this striped mesh is like awesome. You have mint. So I got this. There's fabric mesh is so super popular right now, and they've come out with all kinds of colors, like, you know, black and red check and black and white check and stripes and all kinds of fabulous. I tend to buy nothing really crazy. because I'm really not a supplies, besides the boards, I'm not really a supplies dealer. I just don't have the room. I don't have the room. I wish I had the room, and if I had the room, I would be getting ribbon and everything. Saying that, we have been pondering, when we move to Niagara Falls, maybe opening something bigger so we can start getting in ribbons and all that stuff. So, it's in the talks. I'll just leave it at that. I got this mesh from me. You can go on pretty much any online store right now, and everybody will have fabric mesh. It's poly burlap everybody's having a problem getting right now. Yes, I seen that Michael's had some some fabric mesh as well. It's pretty much the same quality that you would get like Joann's and Hobby Lobby. I think I got white and navy. I'll have to check that out, or it might be coming. So I made a petal, that big petal, with just some normal Deco mesh, so a 21-inch Deco mesh, but I thought that was just too matchy-matchy, like too blah. I am about 40 minutes from Niagara Falls. I'm in Stony Creek, which is a kind of a suburb of Hamilton. So I am halfway between Niagara Falls and Toronto. I was born and raised in Niagara Falls, and I moved here about 20 years ago. I think it may be 21. Yes, fabric mesh is, besides 21-inch, fabric mesh is my favorite for roses. So this fabric mesh would have been smashing for roses. It's pricey though. I'm not gonna lie to you. 21-inch poly burlap and 21-inch fabric mesh are pricey. So you use it sparingly. So I'm only using 8 pieces for this flower. So I like to keep things economical as much as I can. All right, so we got one more stripe to do. So that's pretty easy, very basic. Oh, get out, really? All the way in Arizona? How'd they get there? The border's closed. Mel's Crafty Mojo. I've seen that name a few times. She used to carry our boards. She doesn't carry them anymore. I'll have to find out why. Because I've seen she has some really cool stuff come in too. I actually think, is she the one that got a big load of poly burlap? Yes, I do have more mesh coming in. Hopefully this week, probably later this week. I have ombre, all kinds of ombres coming in again. And this time, I don't know. I might do a pre-sale. I'm trying to make it fair for everyone because I feel so bad when people message me that they haven't got, they weren't fast enough to get a kit or a set. Yes, this is a zip tie gun. It pulls and cuts your zip ties at the same time. And I really love using zip ties for a wreath. A, look how neat the back is. And B, this stuff, it's secured. Like, I find that pipe cleaners just doesn't give me the secure that I like. So, oh, it went, oh, so it's gone. I knew she had gotten poly burlap. I thought it was her. Okay, so we used 16 pieces of the 10 by 10 stripe. Now I'm going to go in with just a natural. You can use a poly jute as well. Poly jute is really nice. It is a little cheaper than fabric mesh. How many boards can your molds make in a day? Dave will know more than I will. He oversees all the stuff at the factory. There's the mesh again. Just for people that came in, we got the 10-inch mesh. We're using fabric mesh. 10-inch mesh. We're cutting them 10 by 10, and I used 16 of the stripe. I am going to use 16 of the natural of the 10-inch, and then the 21-inch, we're using 8 21 by 21. And then I'm using this burlap, the 6-inch burlap. It's going to, pardon me, I'm drinking a flavored water. It's gassy. I'm going to be using burlap for the center. I'm going to use this really nice ivory. And we're going to have 8 pieces of this. And I'm cutting them 20 inches long. Okay? I will talk to Tanya because I'm really, really trying to figure out a way for everybody to try to get one. So I think this time we will be putting a limit, and we'll try and do a pre-sale. Now I'm really kind of against pre-sales because I got burned once. I put out a bunch of stuff on, and this was before Unique in the Creek. I put a whole bunch of stuff on and pre-sold it, and it got lost in the mail. Like, my whole order, FedEx lost everything, and I could not find anymore, and I had to go back and refund all those people and try to explain to them that it was lost. It was horrid. I felt so bad. So that is my hesitation on pre-sales. Okay, so this big long one, like I said, I don't drill holes in my board, so I just zip tie it in. Oh, we're talking about this board, hun. This is a Unique in the Creek wreath board. This is actually the large one. So a lot of the flowers that you see being made out there are being made on this board because it's really, really easy. So I just put a strip of glue from the board, so it's on the board, across to the other side of the board, and just leave it. It will not come out. Okay, so we're doing the exact same, 10 by 10. And if you don't know what I mean by scrunching, all it is you're turning your 10 by 10 piece. See how the curl is? We're going to keep that curl down. You're putting your mesh into a diamond shape, and we are going to scrunch it, meaning you're taking your Peter pointer and your thumb, okay, and you're going to scrunch. And then I hold it, scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Now do this on a flat, a smooth surface, okay? Don't try and do this like on a table with like a tablecloth or anything, because you'll scrunch the tablecloth into your petal. Okay, and then this is what you get when you scrunch from corner to corner. All right, and then you flip it up. And I kind of just press it down, and I'm just looking at the tips of the, gee, I wonder what that came up as on closed caption. I'd kill myself. All right. So you're looking at the tips of the petal to make sure they're about the same length. And then you're going to grab it. I'm right-handed, so I grab it with my right hand. And this part right here is what we're just going to stick in the zip tie. Alrighty. And you pull it. Now I'm going to clip them when I'm done, because that saves time from me, like, did you oh, Suzanne, you LOL'd. Poops, poofs. I love watching the closed captions, especially with Michelle from Monkey's Creation and her accent. So instead of having to pick up my zip tie gun every time, I'll go around and do all my things and then go around and clip them all off. Just time saver. Oh, well, thank you, Beth. I love that you love watching it. I love doing it for you guys. I really do. This is my, like, release from life. Today I spent the day on the back end of our website trying to organize all the papers in it and digitals and vinyls into categories. So like summer, Christmas, Halloween, and it was daunting. It was daunting. Oh, that's funny, Denise. I only watch the captions when Michelle from Monkey Creations comes and does, because I just crack right up. So once you've got the hang of the scrunching, you whip through them really fast. And then you put it in, and you want to make sure that your petal is laid down really nice. That's one good thing about fabric mesh. It does lay really, because there's not a ton of plastic in it, so it will lay really nice for you. And it's soft, it's pliable, it's really nice to work with. However, it does fray, and it is waterproof. I got a lot of questions of that asking if it's waterproof, and it certainly is. And it says that right on the packaging. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, how do you think we should pre-sale them? Okay, like for instance, I only have 100 blue ombre coming in. How do I pre-sell them? Do I do, you know, maybe I could do 20 one day and then the next day load another 20? I don't know. It's called Vivid. The heat sealer is Vivid. You wouldn't do pre-sale? I'm just so torn. Because it really breaks my heart when I get the emails that, oh my gosh, I was looking so forward to getting one and I never got one. And it's like, oh, I try. I bought a lot of them. This is going to be pretty. I do stress. I stress because I just want to make, I'm a people pleaser. I like to make people happy. And when I feel I'm letting anybody down, it really bothers me. You would pay me today, Sheila? Yes, I think I am going to limit quantities. I definitely am. I think, I can't remember. I think I got a couple fall ones. Couple fall ombre sets coming. I can't remember what colors there is. I have the list upstairs. It's pretty much, I think there's purple, both elegant, so rose gold and the silver elegant. There is, oh gosh, blue. Oh, I don't know. There's a few of them. And this time the blue ombre has the light blue mesh, like the really light blue mesh, because it came back in stock again. So I know it's, actually see if I do the pre-sale, then people can actually read the description. Last time people weren't reading the description, and in the blue I had to do, for the light color, I did like a light turquoise, and it was beautiful, but I had a few people message me because it didn't look like my wreath. However, it was the only light blue mesh I could get. something's already canceled in August? I think it's getting a little crazy. I don't know. All right, so we're almost done this row. And then the next row is going to be the 21 inch. So if you got a roll of the striped, I'll show you how much is left on the roll, okay? Because you can, with one roll, you can do 2 flowers. Oh, I need one more. And guys, a lot of you are just new to here, but I do have a Canadian website as well. So I do split things up. So you may only see, you know, 100 kits on the US site because I have to put some on the Canadian as well. And unfortunately, we have to have 2 websites because Shopify can't figure out how to do both countries. They canceled the CNE? Really? Yeah, I think I got quite a few rose gold and the silver elegant ones. Okay, guys. Let's cut these off. And then we're going to go to the 21 inch. Again, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that little share button and sharing it to your personal Facebook page, I really, really would greatly appreciate it. I get in trouble all the time because I always forget to ask people. And that is just how our business, our little business grows. So anybody that does a Facebook Live, they're doing a Facebook Live not only to engage with their customers like I do with you guys, but it helps to you know, market the brand and stuff like that. My gosh, that flavored water is gassy. Okay, so I'm going around. I'm just going to pull out my petals. Isn't this pretty? Just like it is. Now, what would be really pretty is, and I have brown, oh shoot, I do have brown fabric mesh coming in. Really pretty would have been dark brown, then the tan, then the tan and ivory striped, and then the ivory, you know, the ivory center. Okay, guys, I'm just going to put this aside because we're going to work on the petals for the row 4. Okay, so this is what we have already, and this is the back. So we've done row 2 and row 3. Now, I'm going to show you how the picture of Rita Pruz from Irish Made Crafts. If you guys have not seen her work, have a look on Etsy. Her work is just out of this world. It's phenomenal. She gets a lot of recognition from bloggers and different sites because they are so pretty. And she's a pretty cool chick too, so have a check out. So I'm going to show you how she does her big petal. And then I'm going to do this petal because it's a little more beachy inspired. And doesn't this petal like really kind of look like a starfish? So her name, her Etsy thing is Irish Made Crafts. Oh yeah, she's Irish, not Scottish. Did I say she was Scottish before? I'm such a knob. Okay. I've been playing around and I've seen people, and Nana Jinx, she uses a stapler. I was trying a stapler and it's actually pretty cool. So you can use clothespins, or the staple method works good as well. So this is my 21 by 21 inch piece. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna bring it down just a bit so it gets the whole thing. So what we're gonna do is it's almost like this is almost like the background. This is almost like the background for this petal. Watch when I slip this in. Isn't that going to be fabulous? And then we're going to have the ivory on top. It's going to look so pretty. But I'll show you how Rita does hers. So, and what she does is a Star Trek petal, basically in 21 inch mesh. So you have your 21 inch, and you're going to have this time work it with the curl going up, okay? You're going to turn it into a diamond shape, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your corner and you're going to come down and meet the other corner. And usually I just put a clothespin here, and I watched Nana Jinx. She has this fancy dancy stapler. Well, this stapler is from the dollar store. And then if you just put a little staple at the end, because you won't see it because we're putting it in the zip tie, it keeps it together. Who would have thunk? Okay, and then you can also put another one here if you want. Keep that together. I just love how people come up with such fabulous ideas. It's just amazing. All right, there we go. Perfect. Now, what Rita does is she does a Star Trek petal. So it's basically the same. The Star Trek petal is the same as you would do for your 10 inch mesh. So you take, we're going to do right in the center. All right, and you're going to fold this side over. See if you can smooth it out. It helps when you staple it to keep it together. You're going to take, I'm right-handed, so I always bring it over. So we're going to fold it over right to the other side, so the two corners match up. Okay, and if you're a Trekkie, you'll probably see why we call it a Star Trek petal. It looks like the Star Trek emblem, right? Okay, and then what she does, and it's just like the 10 inch, you're going to pinch it in the center. So we want that center line. So you're going to just pinch it like this. And I kind of take my edge and kind of roll it under and bring it to this corner, or to the center like this. And then you're going to do the same with the other side. So I just kind of roll it under just a little bit and bring it to the center. And then you're going to tuck these all in. Okay, and that is your Star Trek petal. Now, I like to use my, let me see, I'll put a clothespin here. I like to use these little tiny elastics, and you get a package of these elastics from the Dollar Tree in the hair section. Let's see, I was trying to find the packaging, because I probably threw it out. I just dumped them in this little container. These are just little tiny hair elastics. You get 500 of them for $1. These are the best this is the best dollar you'll ever spend. Okay, because you can pre-make your petals. This is kind of a little chunky petal, so I'm going to use 2 of these little elastics. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little elastic and just put it on my petal, and it holds it. Okay, and you can actually put your petal onto the board with the elastic still there, because this will just eventually over time, it'll just disintegrate and pretty much vanish. You'll never see it. Your customer will never know it's there. It's just a little helping hand to help you when you're making your petals. And you can do this for any 10-inch petal. So you can pre-make petals. So what I usually do is I get a shopping bag, and I'll sit and watch my movies or my stupid reality shows, and I'll sit and just pre-make a whole bunch of petals. And what you do, so let's do a Star Trek with 10-inch. What you do is, again, bring it down. Now you really don't have to staple this one. I just stapled this one because it's so big. Right, okay? So then you're going to still just fold it over to the other corner, and there's your Star Trek design. Okay, and then what you can do, like I said, you can pre-make your petals. Now I've not done a full Star Trek flower like other people have done because it takes a lot of time and I'm lazy. But there's your Star Trek petal. You will see a lot of flowers of people using this Star Trek petal. Okay? It does take a lot of mesh and it does take much more time, but the end result is absolutely stunning. So when you go, stock up on your elastic bands. Another petal that's really fun to do, especially if you're using fabric mesh and you don't have a heat sealer, pick a petal that you don't have to worry about the edges. And on our YouTube channel, I have about 18 individual short tutorials on all kinds of petals. Okay? So you can go through each petal and find one that you think you'd like to do, and then just practice. Get a little, cutting mat, put it on your lap, sit and watch TV, and play with mesh. That's what I do. So another petal I really like to do, and we call it the daisy petal. It's very easy. You don't see the edges as well, and you can make a sunflower with this petal as well. It looks really nice. So if you did it all in yellow with a brown center, it would definitely look like a sunflower, and you won't have to worry about the fray. So again, 10 by 10, take the top, bring it to the bottom. Okay, I kind of like to stretch where the center is, and you're going to bring that down and then bring this one down, just slightly over top, scrunch it at the bottom, so you leave about 2 inches of a tail. Take one, you don't need two, you just take one, and then you have an awesome petal. And you can either use the petal with the seam up, or you can flip it over and use it with the seam down. And then you would just stick this in to your board, and you would fill your board up with these petals. As you can see, you don't see any of the edge, so you don't have to worry about the fray. So this is a really, really cool petal to do if you do not have a heat sealer. Okay? And like I said, grab I keep wanting to say garbage bag. Grab a grocery bag and throw your petals in as you're making them. Preload your board, and then take your board on your lap and start plopping these in the zip tie, and you can do it the whole flower in your lap while you're watching a movie. It's really, really cool. Okay, so that is, and what Rita does, okay, she's going to cut some of this off. So, because you can see there's quite a bit of tail, and we don't want to stick this whole thing in there, because it's a little harder to do when it's like that. So you can cut some of it off and then put it in, and you're going to fill and make 8 of these all the way around. Now you don't want these very big because you don't want this petal going past these ones. So you're going to put it in, you're going to take off a good 6 inches of the tail. You're pretty much going to cut off. Okay. Yes, I've done almost everything with that petal, the one that I just showed you, because again, you don't have to see the edges. Same with the Star Trek petal. You don't see any of the edge, so you won't see any of the fray. All right, and then you can cut this. Cut it. Then we're going to put it into the zip tie. And I would put it in about, like I said, about 6 inches, because you don't want this really big that it goes past the rest of the petals. This is more like a background. Okay, so that is how to do the flower that Rita did and that you see in the newsletter. I'm going to show you how I do our burlap, and you'll see that on Rita's flower, she has a burlap center as well. She does it a little bit different. The way I'm going to do it is pretty much the same effect. It's just easier to teach you guys the way I'm going to do it. Okay, so Star Trek petal for Rita's flower. I'm making this more beach themed, so I'm doing the Starfish petal. So it kind of curves at the top and everything, and we fold this back, and I'm going to cut some of this off. Again, I've put a little elastic, and I'm going to put this in. And I think once you do one petal, and then as you put the other petals, you can measure beside your first petal. So this is going to be pretty much like our, I'm going to match all the petals to go at the same height as this one. First time here, well, welcome. All right, we're going to cut that off. I'm going to cut this tail off. Now I'm going to show you how I made this petal. It's made the same way I've done the 10-inch one. It's just with 21-inch. I don't know if I ruined this by cutting it. No, I haven't. All right, so you got 21 by 21. Bring the corner down. Actually, I'll do another one since it's... Okay, 21 by 21. Curl coming up. Put it into a diamond shape. Take the corner. Bring it down to the bottom corner. Now, you can just clothespin it to keep those two corners together. Or, if you have a stapler, just put a staple there. That's just to keep them together. It's much easier to make the petal. Put this down here. This flower gets pretty big. Okay. Now we're going to line up the edges. Like that. Now you can, once you got this edge lined up, you can throw a clothespin on there. You can put a staple if you want as well. And then we're going to line up this edge. And I'll throw a clothespin. Okay, well now what we're going to do is get the center. So you can imagine the center. You can put your like triangle shape on your cutting mat. So I got it on the 18, so I can see when I fold over that that's the center. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, I take this side because I'm right-handed, and I'm going to bring it and put this edge right along the line I can see through my mesh on the 18-inch. And I just happen to have, it's the 18 doesn't mean anything. I'm just following the line. Okay. And then you're going to take your other side, and you're going, kind of like to flip it to the side. You're going to take your other side, and you're going to bring it right over to the edge here. Okay. Just like that. And that's what we have. And then you're going to take this, and you're going to fold it back. So take this part, fold it right back to where your center is. Okay, I'm going to take these off now. And now I'm going to scrunch from one side and then scrunch to the other side. My center. There we go. There we go. And that you have your starfish, star flower petal. And I love it because it curves. It curves to the side. It looks so fabulous. And I'm going to take an elastic and just put an elastic on it. Okay? You won't really see this bottom part anyway, so I don't worry about, you know, the little fray here. And I'll put that to the side. So we need 8 of these. So top to bottom. Now you don't have to elastic band them. You can just slip it right into your zip tie as you're making your petals, which I'll do for the next ones. I just wanted to show you guys how you could pre-make them. And clothespins, go when you get to the dollar store, grab some clothespins because they're like your best friend. They're helpful for an extra set of hands. Okay, again, we'll look at the center. I'm matching up these 2 corners. You can staple it just to make sure they stay together. And where I'd fold is right through this center. Another way you can do it, if you have one of these long cutting things that comes with your cutting mat, what you can do is put it, and this is the easiest way to do it because it keeps your mesh down and everything as well. You're going to find your corner, and I just put my plastic right about a 1/2 inch past the corner. And now I'm going to take this side and I'm just going to bring it over, and I'm going to line the edge of it up with this plastic. Okay, and that ensures that you're totally right into the center. You can move that now, and then this one you're going to take right all the way over to the edge, just like that. Okay, you're going to take that and you're going to bring it all the way back to where the center is right here. Okay, and then you just scrunch in the middle there. And I'll put elastic on this one. Any flowers I do on the large board, you can do on the small board. I prefer the large board. Obviously, it makes bigger flowers. The large board is perfect for a front door, the size-wise. But you, like I said, you can do it on the small board as well. It just makes a smaller wreath. Okay, the next one I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it right into our frame or board. Okay, so this is the one I cut at the beginning. So the corner, bring your one side and bring it straight down. Press it out, and then take your other side and you're going to just lay it right along the edge, and then you're going to fold it back. Well, this one might not work out. I might have to cut another one because I had already cut that. Yeah, it's not going to work out. Let's do this again. Corner to corner. Okay. Bring your center, the one side right down. It's going straight down your center. So the edge of it should line up with the corner here. You see how the corner's here and the line's right there. Then you're going to take this one and bring it right over to the edge, just like that. And and then bring it back. And I bring it back to this edge is lined up with the center. Okay, and then we're going to scrunch this right in. Now this time I'm going to just cut the tail into your garbage, and I'm not going to elastic it, I'm just going to put it right into the board. So I'm going to go right next door, put it into the board, so the tail's going towards the center, and I'm using this first one as a guide to how big I'm going to put it. And you want to make sure that your curves, see how it's curved like this? All the curves go the same way around this row. And this is row 4. So I think it's about the same size. And then you're going to just pull your zip tie. Nice and tight. All right. Now, to keep your the flap like this, you can just put a little tiny dab of hot glue on the back, bring it back, and then I just put a clothespin and just leave it like that. That way I ensure that this flap will always stay in that position. Okay, let's put this one in. We'll cut it into the garbage, slide the tail in, and again, I'm going to base the size onto the petal next to it. Now you can, like I said, you can do this with Deco mesh. You can do it with poly burlap. It will be kind of expensive. 21-inch poly burlap is very pricey, but it's beautiful. And that's what Rita uses. She uses the poly burlap. Oh, wait till I put the ivory center in. You guys are really going to love it then. So I'm cutting that excess tail off because we're going to need access to these holes on row 5. Now, any petals that you do put in, you can put hot glue over each one of them to ensure that they will never slip out. That's just a precaution. You do not have to do it, but I do tell people that, you know, if they're a little nervous that they'll slip out of the zip ties, just even put a little hot glue right under the tail, right on the board, just like that, and then press it down. And that definitely ensures it ain't going anywhere. But you still have a beautiful back. So your customer can't see the mechanics of what goes in on the front. I wasn't too sure about this, but I think I'm loving it. Are you guys loving it? Hearts, please, if you love it. Listen to me. Hearts, please. It is going to be pretty. All right, so let's get this one done. I will show you how much is left, because if you get a roll, if you're going to do 2 colors like I did, you can make 2 wreaths out of it, 2 of the same wreaths. If you only get 1 roll of the 10-inch, you'll only be able to make 1, but you will still have a little bit left over. Okay, let's make sure they're both the same size. Looks the same size to me. Pull it tight. Oh, wow. Look at all the hearts. Thanks, everybody. Okay, now hit the share button to your Facebook page. Your personal Facebook page. And I would greatly appreciate that. And tell all your friends. Okay, you can take these off. And just put, like I said, just a teeny tiny dab. That's all you need. And instead of sitting there holding it, I just throw a clothespin on. Oh no, you have to. We're cutting it down. Like when you see Rita's, it's absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, she does the Star Trek petal. I wanted to do this one just to be a little bit different, and it's kind of beach inspired because like summer is coming. And if you follow, now when this is over, I usually upload all these Facebook these Facebook lives. I usually upload them onto YouTube. I edit them and everything else. If you start, stop, rewind, you'll be able to do this step by step with me. Anybody, I'm serious, if you really pay attention of what I'm saying and what I'm doing, you will be able to make one. Doesn't matter if you're crafty or not. Okay? So I folded it right over to the edge. We're going to bring this back to the center again. Just like that. So you see where my center is at the bottom there? I'm bringing this right back to the center again. Very easy. And then you're just scrunching. Okay? I'm just going to stick this right into the zip tie. Again, we'll pull it in using our next door neighbor as a guide for size. And pull it tight. Wow, good for you, Penny. Yes, right, exactly. Like, don't overthink this, people. Like, seriously, stop, start. There's no rush. I do it really fast because, you know, you guys are watching me and I only have, well, I talk a lot, so usually my lives are more than an hour. But you have no rush. So take your time. Make sure your petals are all nice. And that is why, one reason why Rita Prus, why her flowers sell so well, she pays attention to detail. She makes sure all her flowers or all her petals are perfect. Now, in real life, flowers are not perfect, but the customer likes to see the perfect petals on a wreath. And she takes good pictures. Guys, that is a huge, huge thing. If you're doing a really pretty wreath, you know, try and take a picture of it with nothing around it. Like so that the focal point of the picture is the wreath. Don't put it on like a countertop with dishes and stuff around it and take a picture and post it on Etsy or something. I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Take the time to make your pictures nice. Because if you take your time to make the wreath and you take your time to make the picture, your wreaths will sell. Especially the flower wreaths. But you got to take the time to do those things. You really do. Try not to use a busy background. I always use my front door, and the reason I use my front door is because I do not have an overhang on my front door, so the sun in the morning hits my front door every morning. Well, when it's not cloudy. Or I will use my white background behind me. No, this is not a kit. It's very easy. You can buy whatever colors you want, and you don't really need to make a kit. So if you want, I would be checking online stores are the best because they sell, like all the craft stores online sell really good mesh. And that's where you'll find your colors and everything. So if you check out Deco Exchange, Deco Exchange actually has the boards as well. So if you order boards and all your mesh and everything, they have free shipping over a certain amount. So get all your stuff at once. Waterman's Loft, they have the boards and they have really good mesh as well. Trendy Tree, they have actually the boards and everything too. Ranch House Wreaths, she always has nice sales, and everything gets shipped to your door. Okay, am I missing a piece? So I have to cut 2 more pieces. Okay, so I need 2 more pieces of 21 inch. So I'm going to take my 21 inch mesh, roll it out across my, now I'm going to put it on the 25, and then I'm going to cut it at the 4. That makes it 21 inches, and I'm just using my rotary cutter. Yes, Sparkle's in the ATL. Oh my gosh, totally forgot about them. She just ordered a whole bunch. She's selling like crazy. There's all kinds of online. And at the beginning of all our YouTube tutorials, you'll see all the places that sell our boards. I was just going on about places that actually have boards and mesh. So that is Deco Exchange, that's Ranch House Wreaths, that's Trendy Tree, Waterman's Loft. What other online store that has mesh as well? Michaels, duh! Michaels.com. Actually, they're not shipping though. They don't ship the boards. I don't know why. But once the store is open, you can get them in the stores as well. Oh, Luscious Lobbies. Oh my gosh, Annette, I'm so sorry. Yes, if you're in the UK, Luscious Lobbies is our authorized dealer in the UK. And I just love me and some Annette. She's my little Scottish shortbread. There is one in Australia too. Honey, who's the one in Australia if you're still watching? And then, of course, uniqueinthecreek.com and .ca. It's a fun petal. Doesn't it, like, really look beachy inspired? And it's not hard. And I like it because you don't have to heat seal it. We're almost done. I'm going to show you guys how to do the burlap center and we'll be done. Again, I'm using the next door neighbor for the length that I'm going. There we go. Again, we'll put a little. Oh, all things wonderful. Thank you very much. Yes. If you're from in Australia, we have an Australian dealer as well. I really need to have a list because Tanya does all that and I never can remember. Oh yeah, you can do it with a 10-inch. I've done it. You'll see it on our YouTube channel, all with 10-inch. This is just a new flower that you do the last row with a 21-inch. So pretty much the back, these petals are just like a background. And Rita came up with this, but like I said, she uses the Star Trek petal for the 21-inch. And I did show that at the beginning when I started with using the 21-inch. However, I'm going for more of a beach-inspired one, so I'm using the the Starfish. And this is my last one. And I'm going to bring it right back again. And there we go. Now you will not see these tails once we get our burlap in for the center. You don't need plastic canvas or anything else. You can make your center right on the board. And again, all your customer is going to see is zip ties on the back. Okay, looks like we all are all the right length. Take these off. Alrighty, our wreath flower is complete. I will show you what I have left on the rolls, and then we're going to do this burlap center and we're going to be done. Oh, I've got to cut this. Got to make sure that you can still see all the holes in row 5 because that's where we're going to be building the center on. Okay, so where did my, oh, so the striped mesh was a full roll, and I have almost exactly a half a roll left, so enough for, I could do another flower like exactly like this. The fabric mesh is, this one is half a roll as well, enough to do another flower, okay? And then the 21 inch, well, I had opened it and cut a few, but definitely enough for probably 2 more flowers. Or maybe another flower. For sure another flower. So if you get a roll of 10 inch, or 2 rolls of 10 inch, 1 roll of 21 inch, you'll be able to make 2 of the exact same flower. Okay? Alright, alright. I do have 21 inch. I don't have 21 inch fabric mesh. I used to have yellow 21 inch fabric mesh. I do not know if there's any of it left. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to work on the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preload row 5, but I'm going to preload it open. So I'm going to go down 1 hole and up the other. I'm going to cut these tails short enough. Actually, if I just flip it over. So you're just going to go do the main 4 ones. Just like that. Okay, but we're also going to go from here to here. This is the large board. So while I'm doing this, I will put this sign on here so you guys can see what I cut. So we're using shared holes. This one doesn't want to go down. Stop it! There we go. So there'll be a complete circle on the back of the zip ties. Okay? Complete circle. We're going to be using 8 pieces of burlap. And put that to the side. Actually, I'll put it down here. This is pretty big. It becomes about 27 inches. 27 inches. All right. I have 6-inch burlap, so it's 6 inches wide, and we're going to cut them 20 inches long. Now I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to do 2 more because we need 8 pieces. So you're going to take your burlap. Actually, you can use your measure buddy for this too. If you want to do all 8 at the same time, you pull out your measure buddy, because when you pull out number 1 and number 2, from here to here is 20 inches. So what you can do is put your burlap on your measure buddy and then flip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you cut the edge. I've already done 6 of them. I only need 2 pieces, so I'm just going to cut them with my rotary cutter. All right, so 20 inches right here. There's 1. And 2. All right, so you need 8 of these pieces. And again, you have plenty left for probably another 2 centers. These are 10-yard rolls, and there's quite a bit left on the roll. You can see. So you got lots left to do more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm making these kind of pinwheel thingies. Now, when I was making these, I was like looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks like a flower. So if you put, right now I only have a little elastic around it. I did grab some pom-poms. Where did they go? So if you make this and put a little tiny zip tie around here, and you put like a pom-pom, or let's see what I have here that you can see, or one of these like styrofoam balls, glue it in the center like that, you have cute little burlap flowers. Because I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh, that looks like a flower. So if you put like something yellow or something in the center, wouldn't they be cute little flowers? You obviously wouldn't use just the elastic, you would put a zip tie around it, but just an idea when you're doing a rustic wreath or something. Okay, so you got your 20-inch piece. I'm going to put it long ways in front of you. This is what we're going to make right now. And I'm going to start at the thing, and we're going to accordion it. So you're going to pinch it up, fold it down. Now what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that my edge, when I'm doing the accordion, both edges are the same all the way down. So I take really good care that, I'll get it started here. There we go. So I kind of fold it down and scrunch again, fold it down, scrunch. So you can see that it's like an accordion with the folds there. Fold it over, down. And you're going to do this all the way. And I'm making sure that the edges are all still lined up. Fold it down and scrunch. Down and scrunch. Just like that. Okay. So when you're done at the end of the 20-inch, I'm just going to put an elastic around it just to help me. Now you can put it right onto the board. However, I like to put the little elastic right into the center. That way I make sure when I put it on the board that both sides are going to be equal. So when I bring this out, the elastic should be, because it's at 16. Oh, wait a second. 16 when it's open. So the elastic should be on 13. So that's the exact center. There we go. Okay, We're making 8 of these. So again, we'll do one more. This, I'm making the center. This is the burlap center for the flower that we just did. However, I was just saying when I was making these, if you put a zip tie around it, not the elastic, and put a little, maybe even a yellow felt circle, it will make cute little rustic flowers for a rustic wreath if you were doing it. So fold it, scrunch. And you're making sure each accordion size or fold is the exact same size. Okay? Fold it over, scrunch. And I'm making sure the edges are lined up. Now I want to make sure that the edge is facing down. There we go. Now you're going to take a little elastic. Now, again, this little elastic will disintegrate over time, but it doesn't matter because we're going to have it zip tied already into the board. And make sure if you pinch it and fold it up, each side should be exactly the same size. Okay, so now you're going to take your board. I got 8 of them done. Oh yeah, you can watch the replay. It will always be available under our videos, and then I try and edit them and put them on our Facebook or our YouTube channel. Okay, so now we're going to make our center. So you're going to take one of your burlap pieces that you put an elastic in. Make sure, see how they're the cut and there's a fray and everything. We're going to make sure that that's down facing the board. I'm going to take this piece, and actually I'll take some of these out so it's not so confusing to you guys. Okay, so we're going to do 8 pieces in each zip tie. So what you're going to do is the center, you're just going to put it between the zip tie. So if you can see that there's the zip tie head and tail, and then this space, we're going to make sure this elastic band is right in the center, and they're going to bring the head and tail of the zip tie. And again, just making sure that it's in the center of your burlap piece, which it is, and let's pull it tight. Now I like to, for this, because burlap is quite thick, but we want to get a nice tight fit around this. I pull it with the needle nose pliers, and we're going to cut that off. Now I'm going to take this bunch, and I'm going to clothespin it just out of the way so I can see my zip ties. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the next one. Take your burlap piece, put the center of it right in the middle of the 2 head and tail of the zip tie. Now soon it's going to be really hard to see what I'm doing because we're going to have this filled with burlap. Okay, centered. Thank you. Cut it. We'll pin it back again with another clothespin. It's just easier to pin it all back while you're working. Get it out of the way. So we're going to do 8 spots. So you're doing, well, I pulled some out, but we're going to be doing all 8. So I have to put another zip tie in there. Okay, take your burlap, again put it, the elastic right in the middle. What is this one? I have to do them one at a time. It gets confusing. And we want a nice full center. That's why I'm doing all 8. Okay, good. Pull nice and tight and snip it off. Pull it out of the way. Oh, pulled a little too tight. I missed one here. Yeah, I did. So you can really tell just when you flip it over, you can see I missed that one right there. And I want this to be super full, so I'm going to go back in and put the zip tie down and back up. And it's pretty much impossible to see what I'm doing now because we got such a full thing of burlap here. But I'm doing the same thing all in every zip tie. And burlap comes in all different colors. I have turquoise, I have purple, I have yellow, brown, black. It comes in all kinds of colors. I'm going to pull these off. Look how nice that is. All right, let's continue on around. So you can see once you get the burlap on, you don't see any of the bigger petals, the tails or the zip ties or anything like that. Another one I could have used here was this gorgeous, this one would have looked really pretty. This was made by Nancy James. She makes these flower centers with the styrofoam and pearls. That would have been gorgeous, right? The pearls and starfish, all beach theme, beautiful. So you can contact Nancy if you want to get one of these, or you can make them yourselves. They're not too hard. Some people just can't be bothered, so they'd like somebody else to make it. But this would have been really pretty as well. But I wanted to show you guys the burlap because Rita did hers with a the natural colored burlap with her flower. But with this beach theme, I thought the ivory would look really nice. Now it's getting tight in here, but we want to keep, we want a full center. Gets confusing when you have the extra zip ties in there. We are full. That's good though. Alrighty, what do we have left? Oh my gosh, we still have 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 3 more in there. Look how full it is though. And when you're seeing, I really didn't use a lot of burlap from what it looks like, because it looks like I used a ton. I'm the same way, Robin. I have a whole rack full of projects I started and haven't finished. Because I see something and it's like, squirrel! I have to try that. So I'll stop what I was working on and try something else, and then it doesn't get finished. Tomorrow, from my weekend of lives, I will be doing the bee swag. And I'll show you guys when I'm done the center what I'll be working on tomorrow. Some of you have probably seen that I made a flat beehive. Ooh, this one I don't think I centered it very good. Almost done. Almost done. I know, isn't this coral really pretty? I love this petal. It goes so perfect with this whole flower. All right, so we got two more. So this is why I pre-did these little petals with the elastic. It's just so much easier to get it centered because you're getting a whole mess of burlap here. But I'm just making sure I can see that little elastic so I know that's my center, and that the zip tie is going right over the little elastic. One more, squeeze it in. Right here. I did make the flat beehive on a live. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It's going to be a swag, so I'm going to be using 2 small boards. I love making swags with the 2 boards. It is so cute. Okay, last one. What do you mean, Sensei? You have to watch it. I am Master Sensei. Master Sensei Lori. Where's my other side of my... There we go. Squeeze it in there. And it looks like I used a whole lot of burlap, and I didn't. It's the appearance. Same with the mesh. It looks like we used a whole bunch of mesh, and we didn't. But the customers don't need to know that. They see this big, ginormous flower, and they're like, wow, that must have took forever. All right, there we go. So we're going to pull all these, make sure they're all up. And like I said, the burlap rolls come in all colors. I have all kinds of colors. I want to make a flower center. I bought some resin, and I want to make a flower center, and I'm going to do it with resin, and I'm going to put like shells and stuff in the resin, because I bought like this 6-inch round mold that's used for resin, and I'm going to put shells in it. That'll be a fabulous center for a beachy flower. All right, so make sure you go around and pull it out. Let's ruffle it all up, and there we go. I'll show you. We're gonna put a hanger on it. Now you can do a ribbon hanger. I have quite a few tutorials on the ribbon hangers I've been doing. They're really, really pretty. What do you guys think? Isn't that gorgeous? Rita's probably not even on here. Let's pull this up a bit. There we go. All right. So you can even make the flower even larger. So if you wanted to put it on a garden gate or something, by using these outside holes. Normally a lot of people put green on these outside holes, so you'd use the hole to the outside of the board, and that's where they would put their leaves. But on a flower like this, I would probably not but I can show you. So this would be the first row you would do before you add all these, but if you put another petal onto the row 1, it makes your flower even bigger. So I'm going to zip tie it from the hole to the outside of the board. Okay, and you just make sure the head is either in the hole, push it down in the hole so there's nothing to scratch the door, and cut this off. And then that brings, there's that petal right there, that brings your flower to even bigger. Okay, pretty cool, eh? Now, I'm going to cut that off because it's pretty big. And then on row 1, you'll see that there's 2 holes here together. Those are your hanging holes. When you look at it from the front side, there's an actual number 1 in between those holes, because that's row 1, and they're divoted in. Those are your hanging holes. So you can use wire, you can use twine, you can use it. I always use a zip tie. You just go down, up, close it a little bit, cut the tail of that zip tie off, and you have a hanger. Sometimes I make really pretty ribbon hangers with bows. But isn't this awesome? Like, it screams beach. Totally. Love it. Thank you, Rita. Even though I did mine a little different, but you can do yours like Rita. It's exact same. You just do a Star Trek petal with the 21 inch instead of the Starfish petal. Okay? That's it. I know, isn't it like beachy? I love it. Love it. Okay, I'm going to show you, well, there's the other center. That would have looked really pretty too. And it would have covered the zip ties. But, gotta love the burlap center. And it's so easy. No plastic canvas and all that crap. No. When you use the Ink in the Creek board, you do it all right on the board. There's no extra stuff you have to buy. All right, let me show you what tomorrow's project is. And then I'm out of here. I haven't eaten dinner, or have I? I'm going to get the bee. So tomorrow's project